You're gonna have to forgive the fact that I have my script here on my iPad and I'm in the back of the car, but I just felt like a change of scenery from my room might have been good. Let me ask you this. Have you ever fallen out of love? You feel all numb and everything is almost like a chore to you, and there's just no feeling behind anything that you do anymore. Yeah, that was me with music. If you could indulge me for like a second and like take a walk in my head, half the time my brain is thinking about music. Or maybe all the time actually. Every day there's something I do in relation to music. Whether that's singing randomly, thinking of a song title or song concept, progressions, the production, listening to an album, it's almost always music. I think one of the most concrete memories I have about my passion for music is when I told my mom that I wanted to be like Amanda Seyfried and Meryl Streep when they were in Mamma Mia. So it's kind of hard to believe that I've fallen out of love with music. And to be honest, I still kind of sort of am. So how does one go from singing every single day to not producing in 4 months? Week 1's done. Week 2 is done. High five. Look at her. So full of dreams. That was me when I started the 90-day challenge of making an album. By the way, I'm trying something new with this. Let's see if it works out. One of the main reasons for doing it was to reignite my love for music after being drained to the bone from my previous job. And for a while, it worked. I did things that I couldn't have done without the time crunch and produced a bunch of different sounds, more upbeat songs, and if you knew me back then, that was an accomplishment. Most of my songs were mellow and kind of a bit boring, to be honest. Doing this project made me challenge myself in ways that I probably wouldn't have challenged myself otherwise without the time crunch and the circumstances under which I did the challenge in the first place. This passion and this reignition of my love for music was only exacerbated when we went to Japan. I met this couple who ran a bar and the entire room was full of vinyls. From the bottom to the top, it was just vinyls upon vinyls, different genres and different time periods of when these vinyls were created. And you could really feel the love of music in that room. And that only served to inspire me even more than I was before. But when I came home, nothing. I couldn't produce anything. And it felt like my muse went with me to Japan and just never came back. It was disastrous. I tried some old tricks that I used in the first few weeks of the challenge, but there was still nothing. I was back to my old habits and my creation levels started to stagnate. Now, any artist knows what it feels to be in a creative rut, and that was what I was feeling. And usually, a deadline would push me to getting something done. You know, it would move all my brain circuitry and just try and get me to that point eventually. But this time, there was nothing. I couldn't rely on things like that anymore. I was stuck. It was just not a good mental space to be in. So like YouTube, I stopped for a bit. I stopped producing for a day, a week, a month. And next thing you know, it's 4 months and I still haven't made anything. But in the space of that, in those 4 months of not producing anything, I started reading and writing and drawing and doing other creative endeavors other than music. And you know, that kind of scared me. For so many years, people asked me, is music really what you want to do in life? Are you sure it's not just a hobby? And they asked it when I was a kid, they asked it when I was in high school, and then they asked it when I was about to enter college and I chose music production as my degree. It's always been an adamant yes. Like, yes, this is what I want to do in my life. I want to perform, I want to write music, I want to keep singing till I can't. And there's a bit of acting in there, but that's not what this video is about. But after graduating and getting a job in the actual music industry and doing it professionally, I sought a different path than what I thought I should have been taking. There's more on that in the previous video and in my very first video on this channel if you want to check that one out as well. After making that decision, I felt freer, but it became a lot harder. So much so that I started to dislike music. And it shouldn't feel like that, right? It shouldn't feel that tiring that I start to hate what I'm doing. And I was scared that suddenly music wasn't what I wanted to do. Maybe that's where all of this lack of energy and not wanting to produce came from. And for someone who dreamed about being like one of the stars of Mamma Mia, that was terrifying. Maybe those people who asked me all those years ago were right and it was just a hobby that I enjoyed so much. Then one day I started listening to music not to dissect it or try and understand the theory or the production behind it, but just to listen, to enjoy it and really just be in the moment of the music and what it was trying to convey and tell me as a listener. I revisited old songs I hadn't listened to in a long time, and for the first time, music didn't feel like a chore or a burden. It was just that, music. It was just as it is. When I saw music as is and not a goal to be pursued, and not a dream I had to claw my way towards, my relationship with music improved significantly. When I realized I had spent so much time trying to justify my direction of my career in music with my peers, I felt so much freer. It got me thinking to how I was in that bar in Japan. It was just a room full of vinyls from top to bottom, with homemade speakers and a couple that just talked about their love for music. And they loved it so much that they opened a bar that featured their whole collection to guests who just drink around the table and talk and express their own love for music. I met this couple who have their own bar, and it's really great. I'm walking home and it's raining, but I had one of the best nights ever, so I'm okay being drenched in the rain if that's the outcome of tonight. And that feeling, that feeling of that swell of love for the art and music as it is, and just feeling the emotions in the room. That's what I love about music, and what I had forgotten about in my pursuit of ambition. I felt like a kid all over again, just watching Mamma Mia for the first time and wanting to be like Sophie and just sing my heart out whenever I felt like it. Looking back at it now, forcing myself to like something by imposing a challenge, while it offers a big high, it's not that good in the long run. Instead of taking the pressure off like I thought it would, it added onto it. And I brushed it off thinking, it can't be a chore if that's what I want. And that kind of mentality is damaging. The creation of art shouldn't feel tiring. It shouldn't feel restricting. And there is an argument to be made that those things are good in moderation. In my case, it was excessive to the point where I didn't want to produce at all, and I hated that. I hated music. In reflection of all of this and doing what I've been doing for the past months, I'm starting to like music again. I'm starting to fall in love with it the way I did the first time I started falling in love with music. I'm relearning my music theory from my old notes in college. I'm practicing my guitar. I'm trying to learn bass, and I'm doing little production sessions every day till I'm more comfortable making full-fledged productions again. And it's like relearning how to ride a bike. I know how to do it, and I haven't done it in a while, and I'm rusty, but once you get into the groove, you get into the groove, and I'm hoping that I'm gonna find that groove again one day really soon. It's windy, and the things are going crazy. But yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun trying to relearn everything and not really taking myself too seriously, producing and making tracks or learning something with the end goal of making something at the very end, but just to have fun and just to practice my craft and enjoy what I'm doing throughout the whole thing. Now, what does this mean in relation to the album? Well, like I said in my previous video, I'm still doing it, but instead of 12 songs, I'm thinking more of a modest 9 to 10, maybe 9, because 10's a bit too much for me right now. With this limited amount of songs compared to 12, I'm really trying to hone in on the theme and the storyline instead of just 12 songs that vaguely reminisce about the theme. This one I think is more in depth, and it really tells a story with these 9 to 10 songs. I reworked the concept to be similar but a bit simpler than my original one. It's still gonna be about being in your 20s and trying to find yourself and living life as a 20-year-old and just living life in general. And I think that's a bit freer and open compared to my more boxed in concept the first time around. I currently have 6 demos complete, and then I have 3 to 4 more song ideas that I want to try out and see if it fits, see if it works out the way my head is doing it in my head. What? It'll be a slower process, definitely not 90 days, and I'm thinking this is a long-term project that I could make videos about if ever I want to share what's been going on. And I hope to share what's been going on, because I really like talking to you guys. I could have just ended at talking, but I feel like to you guys makes it sound less conceited. I definitely want to take you guys along. I'm trying to find a way to do that. I'm really into dev vlogs, those game developers that do their logs on what's been going on with their games and showing it to their audience. There's this one guy I started watching. I don't know what his YouTube channel name is. It's Wyatt or Watt, something like that. And I really like the way he formats his videos. And I kind of want to do something like that where I'm just oh, producer vlog, dev vlog, something like that. And then just talk about what I've been doing with the album, give you little snippets here and there. I also like the idea of making videos around themes or like the concept of each song without telling you that that's what the song is about. So it's kind of like a little Easter egg if you hear the album when it eventually comes out and you look back at these videos. Hopefully you look back at these videos. I probably won't. I do want to make it clear that I definitely don't want every video to be about the album. I think that one, you guys don't want to hear me yap on about the same thing. And two, it'll definitely burn me out just constantly talking about the album. Like I said in my previous video, I want this channel to be more about music and who I am as an artist as well as the album. The album's not like the main thing I want to talk about all the time. But in terms of album related videos, those are some of the ideas that I have. If you have more, let me know down below. Or, you know, if you have any other video ideas that are not album related that you want to see me do that are music related, like reacting to this album or this song, though I don't know, there's copyright rules to that, right? Maybe not that then, but like other video ideas you'd want to suggest, just let me know down below. That's the end of the video. Thank you for watching me ramble about a bunch of things. I hope you like my new mic holder. I don't know if I'll keep it. I like it for now. It gives me more stuff to fiddle with. I don't know if these videos are entertaining to you guys, but I feel like if I was a viewer and I saw someone talking about something like this, I would watch it. So I decided to make a video about it. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. If you did, go give the other video a watch, the previous one that's showing up right about now. If you wanna, you can comment, you can like. Did I already say that? Like it again if you can. Bye.